Hello everyone, and welcome back. Imagine this scenario. You buy a brand new electric vehicle. The manufacturer promises you 300 miles of range on a full charge. You drive it all summer, and it's perfect. But then, December hits. The temperature drops below freezing. You get in your car one morning, fully charged, and the dashboard doesn't say 300 miles. It says 220. You start driving, and the miles tick away faster than usual. You haven't changed your driving style. You haven't changed your route. So, where did that energy go? Did the battery leak? Did the electricity freeze? Today, we're going to deconstruct the physics and chemistry of EV winter range loss. It is not just one thing going wrong. It is a perfect storm of three distinct scientific factors colliding at once: electrochemistry, thermodynamics, and fluid dynamics. By the end of this lecture, you won't just know that it happens, you will understand exactly why it happens, down to the molecular level. Let's start with the heart of the beast, the lithium-ion battery pack. To understand why a battery struggles in the cold, we have to look at how it works. Inside a battery cell, you have a cathode, the positive side, and an anode, the negative side. Between them is a liquid or gel called the electrolyte. When you drive, lithium ions swim from the anode to the cathode through this electrolyte. This movement is what creates the flow of electricity. The honey analogy. Think of the electrolyte as a swimming pool. In the summer, at 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit, the water is warm and fluid. The lithium ions are like Olympic swimmers. They glide through easily with very little resistance. But when the temperature drops to freezing, that electrolyte doesn't freeze solid, but it becomes viscous. It thickens. Imagine trying to swim through honey or cold molasses instead of water. The ions physically struggle to move through this thickened sludge. This struggle creates internal resistance. In physics, resistance is the enemy of efficiency. When resistance goes up, some of the energy that should be moving your car is instead wasted as heat inside the battery just to push those ions through the honey. The voltage drop. This leads to a phenomenon known as voltage sag. Because the chemical reactions are happening slower, the battery cannot deliver power as quickly. The battery management system, BMS, the brain of the car, sees this struggle and restricts the available energy to protect the cells from damage. So, part of your missing range isn't gone. It's just temporarily locked away because the chemistry is too sluggish to access it safely. If battery chemistry were the only problem, you might lose 10% or 15% of your range. But in the real world, we often see losses of 30% or even 40%. Why? The answer lies in thermodynamics, specifically cabin heating. This is the single biggest reason for winter range loss. And to understand it, we have to compare an EV to a traditional gas car, internal combustion engine, or ICE. The waste heat bonus. Gas engines are incredibly inefficient. They waste about 70 to 80% of the energy in gasoline as heat. In the summer, this is a problem. You need a radiator to dump that heat. But in the winter, this inefficiency is a feature. The car simply redirects that waste heat into the cabin to keep you warm. The heat is essentially free because it's a byproduct of driving. The EV efficiency trap. Electric motors, on the other hand, are hyper-efficient. They convert over 90% of their energy into motion. They generate very little waste heat. This means if you want the cabin to be 20 degrees Celsius 68 degrees Fahrenheit, when it is minus 5 degrees Celsius 23 degrees Fahrenheit outside, you cannot rely on the motor's waste heat. You have to manufacture new heat. Resistive heating versus heat pumps. Many older or budget EVs use resistive heating. This is like a giant space heater or a toaster wire. You run electricity through a coil to get hot. This is brutally energy intensive. A resistive heater might consume 3 to 6 kilowatts of power. Let's put that in perspective. If you're stuck in slow traffic, your electric motor might only need 1 or 2 kilowatts to move the car. But your heater is pulling 4 kilowatts just to keep you warm. In that scenario, you're using twice as much energy to heat the air as you are to move the vehicle. Modern EVs, like newer Teslas, Hyundais, and Audis use heat pumps. A heat pump works like an air conditioner in reverse. Instead of creating heat, it moves heat. It finds the tiny amount of thermal energy in the outside air, yes, even in cold air, and compresses it to warm the cabin. This is 3 to 4 times more efficient than a resistive heater, but even a heat pump has limits when it gets extremely cold, below minus 10 degrees Celsius, forcing the car to work harder. So we have sluggish chemistry and a hungry heater. But there are hidden thieves stealing your range that people rarely talk about. 1. Air density, aerodynamic drag. Cold air is denser than warm air. The molecules in cold air are packed tighter together. When you're driving down the highway at 60 miles per hour, your car is essentially pushing a wall of air out of the way. In winter, that wall is heavier. At 0 degrees Celsius 32 degrees Fahrenheit, the air is about 10% denser than it is at 30 degrees Celsius 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This means aerodynamic drag increases. Your motor has to work harder just to maintain the same speed. It's like running into a stiff headwind that never stops. 2. Tire pressure. We all learned the ideal gas law in high school chemistry. Pressure is directly related to temperature. When the temperature drops, the pressure in your tires drops, typically 1 psi for every 10 degrees Fahrenheit drop, or roughly 1 psi per 5 degrees Celsius. Underinflated tires create more rolling resistance. They're squishier, creating more friction with the road. If you don't top up your air in winter, you are literally dragging your car down. 3. The loss of regenerative braking. This is a big one. Normally, when you lift your foot off the accelerator, the motor acts as a generator, slowing the car down and sending energy back into the battery. This is regen. However, remember our cold molasses battery chemistry? Because the cold battery has high internal resistance, it cannot accept a fast charge. It physically cannot take the energy in quickly enough. Therefore, the car's computer disables or limits regenerative braking to protect the battery. Instead of capturing that energy at a stoplight, you have to use the physical friction brakes. That kinetic energy is lost as heat at the brake pads rather than being stored for your next mile. Let's synthesize this with a concrete example to see how these factors stack up. Imagine you're driving a Tesla Model 3 or a Chevy Bolt. Scenario A, summer drive. Temp, 25 degrees Celsius. Conditions, battery is warm, air is thin, heater is off. Result, you get 100% of your rated efficiency. Scenario B, winter highway drive, minus 5 degrees Celsius. 1. Start. Your battery is cold. The BMS reserves 5% of capacity so you don't damage the cells. 2. Chemistry. Internal resistance lowers your powertrain efficiency by about 5%. 3. Physics. The dense air increases drag, costing you another 5 to 10% range at highway speeds. 4. Comfort. You blast the heat. If you don't have a heat pump, this is the killer. It consumes 15 to 20% of your total battery capacity over the trip. Total loss. You are now looking at a 30% to 40% reduction in total range. A 300-mile car is now a 180-mile car. It is crucial to note the difference between city and highway winter driving. On the highway, aerodynamics, dense air, plays a larger role. In the city, heating plays the dominant role. Why? Because your trip takes longer. If you drive 10 miles in the city, it might take 40 minutes. That is 40 minutes of running a 4 kilowatts heater. That same 10 miles on the highway takes 10 minutes. So you only run the heater for 10 minutes. So, is the electric car doomed in winter? Absolutely not. Technology is adapting. We are seeing the standardization of heat pumps across almost all new models, drastically reducing the heating penalty. We are seeing preconditioning features. This allows you to tell the car, via an app, I am leaving at 8 a.m. The car, while still plugged into the wall charger, will use grid electricity to warm up the battery in the cabin before you unplug. This means you depart with a warm battery, low resistance, and a warm cabin, preserving your range for the road. Summary takeaway. To summarize, EV winter range loss is not a defect, it is physics. 1. Chemistry. Cold ions move slowly, internal resistance. 2. Thermodynamics. Making heat from scratch costs energy, cabin heating. 3. Physics. Cold air is thicker, aerodynamic drag. Understanding these variables doesn't change the weather, but it does change how we plan our journeys. As battery solid-state technology evolves and thermal management systems become smarter, this winter gap will shrink. But for now, preheat your cars, check your tire pressure, and respect the thermodynamics of the cold. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video.